Alright, so I gotta mention the controversy around Palworld. You know, so the big one is basically people saying that, like, they plagiarized Pokemon, that some of the pals are, like, exact copies of Pokemon, which isn't true. Like, you can definitely see the resemblance to Pokemon, but they're all just slightly different enough to where they're clearly not the same thing. And the reason behind that is because it's basically a parody. You know, people call the game Pokemon with guns, which is an absurd concept and, like, definitely a parody, right? Like, Pokemon is not having Pokemon with guns. Like, that's not something they're ever actually gonna do. It's absurd. That's kind of the whole thing. And so the pals look like Pokemon because that's the whole point. The gimmick of the game is that these creatures look like Pokemon or something similar. But it's not because it makes developing the game easier. It isn't just some lazy copy. It's an intentional design choice to make you think of Pokemon. Not only that, but like the Pokemon art style wasn't ever particularly original. Many of the design features were taken from other Japanese games like Dragon Quest. Like they were kind of just following popular trends in the 90s. And, you know, since then they've kind of taken on like their own personality a bit, and they definitely were what popularized this style in the West, like in the US. But yeah, the designs are fun, you know. And then there's also some people saying like, oh, it's just AI or whatever, which no, it's not. That doesn't really make sense. Like the final product, at least, clearly isn't AI generated. You know, the one place where AI may have been used is like concept art, but I mean, this game's been in development for quite a while. You know, people are pointing out, like, I guess it was a Twitter post or X, whatever you want to call it, from one of the creators of the game, where they were talking about like how AI can be used to make fake Pokemon. But this happened after the game had already been in development for a while, and a lot of the pals are already designed, you know, so it's like maybe they used AI to come up with some concepts for like some of the pals towards the end of the game. I don't know, but it's like if they used AI, it was used in a way where I simply don't care. Like it was used in like such a tiny, insignificant aspect that it doesn't matter. You know, like people had to make the assets for the game, and that's kind of it.
Pokemon with guns.